I know some people are probably rolling their eyes up to heaven going, that's obvious, but maybe not to everybody. And one of the reasons is because if you're working sitting on your bed, the opportunity to turn on Netflix is probably a lot more higher than if you're sitting in your office desk. The other thing as well is that when you go to sleep at night, this is your sanctuary, this is your relax. But if you're associating the bedroom and the bed with your work, it's going to be more difficult to switch off at sleep. The other thing is around emails, because emails can be coming in, especially if you're from a global company, 24/7. So this is where I'd sort of encourage organizations to put policies in place as well around, ensuring that people can set up an out of office maybe between certain hours, and, encouraging people not to be checking their mails. Now, obviously, depending on what level you're at, some companies, obviously, or leaders have to be checking their emails, but for the majority of people, if you've been checking your emails from 9 to 5, then that should remain when you're in your home environment as well. Find a space at home where it's the spare room, or it's the kitchen, or it's a little bit of a desk somewhere in a corner that is separated from where you relax, possibly not the couch and possibly not the bedroom, if that makes sense to everybody. And it's just more that you don't want to associate both, because when you switch off at 5 o'clock, you might be heading towards sitting down on your couch, and you might be sitting thinking of work things because you've associated that. So it's a big thing to be able to separate the work environment and the home, even when both are in the workplace.
Perfect. And just on that as well, it's the always on mentality.
Yes.
Some people might be working from home as this might be their first time, and they might feel that they always have to be seen to be on. What would be your feelings on that, or how would you manage that yourself?
Yeah, I think again, when I'm studying workplace wellness at the moment, doing a postgrad, and it's something I've been involved in for a number of years. And we look at individuals taking responsibility, and we have to take responsibility for ourselves and what we do. But with something like this, it really is down to companies. And this is where we're going to see in years to come, the companies who are able to manage this really well, to help their staff and support their staff by putting in procedures to say, hey, listen, your hours are 9 to 5. We don't want to see you, on your online in work after that time, because the more that it comes from the top down, the more that people will go, actually, it's okay. My boss doesn't mind me not logging on, and I don't feel bad. And it is something out there. You look at France, they've actually stopped people. They don't want to let people have email access after a certain time, which, may be a good thing or a bad thing. But it's something, especially when people are working from home, we need to be able to switch off. We need to be able to have our downtime. That makes us more productive than the following day as well. And
the thing I've noticed a bit more, you seem to eat a lot more when you're at home.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people are mailing me at the moment going, help, I'm piling on the pounds. And yes, it's an interesting question, because we have the opportunity to use our kitchen a lot more. Or what people do is they take their snack and go, I'm going to bring it into my office, and I'm going to bring everything in now so I don't have to leave the office. I'll be more productive. And all those snacks are gone then within 10 minutes. So I recommend stick with your 3 meals and your 2 snacks. And snacks are not a mini meal. They're a snack. Really important. Again, let's look at statistics in Ireland. 1 in 4 of us suffer mental health issues. We have one of the highest levels of obesity in Europe, and we have the highest levels of chronic depression in Europe. So is food linked? I would say yes. And there's a lot of studies been done, like the SMILES report that came out in Australia, where it showed that people who were suffering from mental health issues, and in particular very low mood, overhauled their diets, and the benefits were that they felt better. And what you put into your body is going to either help support your mental well-being, or it's going to make you feel a little bit lethargic. So let's go back to Christmas time. Do you remember at Christmas you got loads of chocolates and sweets, and you're off for a couple of days, and you're feeling a little bit more crap? Well, that's what happens. So now that you're working from home, for those who are working from home for the first time, you have this opportunity to eat really, really well if you choose to do so. And by eating well, it's going to help support you. So not to get into too much of the scientific facts behind fruit and veg, but they contain nearly all vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So the average recommendation in Ireland is to have about 5 to 6 portions. I think on average, the Irish person is having maybe 3 portions. if you can increase that level of fruit and veg in your day, that's helping feed your cognitive function, your physical, your emotional wellness as well. So it's something that's really important, as well as that having water. I see you're drinking your water, well done, but having maybe 2 liters of water beside you, as opposed to a pot of coffee, as opposed to, you know, maybe sparkling drinks or fizzy drinks. So really important that we rehydrate the body during the day. We get those 3 meals in, and we take a break when we're having the food, and we do a bit of mindful eating as well. There's something around the supermarkets at the moment, and it's quite disheartening. A lot of the processed food has been sold out straight away, and I understand why, because processed food, we believe, lasts longer. But you can actually buy homemade fresh food, freeze it, it loses no nutritional value. If you buy frozen fruit or veg, again, it loses no nutritional value whatsoever. So really important to try and get them into your diet. If anybody's looking for a specific hint or tip, what I would recommend, if you have a juicer, is having a green juice in the morning. It's like an intravenous injection of energy going into your body, loaded with, you know, spinach and kale, spirulina. I don't know if anyone's heard, or anyone's too old to remember Popeye. So Popeye was a sailor man, and he loved his spinach because it gave him energy. And it's really, really important that we get those type of foods into our diet to create energy, especially in the morning time. So that starts our day the right way. It also makes us feel better. And there's so much evidence to say that when you eat the right foods, you end up with more energy and a better mood as well. Now, we can't guarantee that for everybody. I do know that. But for the majority of us, when you eat well, it will help support your mental health.
Just a question came in from off the board here.
Yeah.
Just people in IT are pretty comfortable, or kind of comfortable working at home. So, you know, and there's snacks in IT businesses a lot of the time. What would your thoughts be on that? I think it's a bit different than their normal work from home policies and, you know, remote working, because everybody's not in the office. So,
yeah, I mean, look, even when this is all over again, you know, this is a great opportunity for people to piggyback off their existing habits and turn them into more positive habits. Okay. So if you work from home already, it is completely different now, because the family are probably home, or your flatmates are home. So there's a lot more people there. We're also bulk cooking. There's a lot more food in people's fridges and presses at the moment. It's a control, it's a habit. And if you're somebody who's eating a lot of bad habits at the moment, this is an opportunity to say, right, I'm going to, you know, change those habits. If you know, I'm not quite sure, is the question that they're eating bad?
Well, they should. The question, there was more of a comment around, you know, there's snacks in most businesses, they're comfortable working from home.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, there isn't much difference anyway for the general IT population.
Which is a good thing, and maybe they can actually give us some hints and tips for everybody else as well that, you know, isn't used to working from home. But for what I'd say to you is, what's going to happen is, because of COVID-19, is that we're going to be in more isolation. We're not going to have that opportunity after our working day to go out, meet friends, go to cinema, go to the pub, or whatever you do. So we're sort of stuck in a 24-hour period, and maybe using the back garden or the front garden to get some exercise as well, which is crucial. But snacking is something just to keep an eye on, and look at the type of snacks you're having. If they contain high levels of processed sugar, maybe replace them with like some healthy fruits and nuts, which is slow releasing energy during the day as well.
Okay, you touched on something on the exercise side of things. I've never seen so many people running up and down the roads, and it's great seeing families out on bikes, and we'll all argue that we're probably still too close and different things, but it is great to see people are wanting to get out more. What would be your kind of recommendation on it's timings, or what you should be doing? It's
very interesting, actually. Somebody sent me a post, and it was like, when not in quarantine, and it shows everybody on their iPads and their iPhones sitting on their couch, and then when in quarantine, we're all trying to get out. One of the benefits, I think, of COVID-19 is that we're actually realizing what we've taken maybe for granted over the past couple of years, or maybe in our lifetime in the 21st century, that, you know, we're missing nature. Isn't this amazing that we're all missing nature at long last, and that we're going to spend more time getting out? Okay, there's two things. One, if it's safe to do so and you can get outside, do. I know that I think Leo made a he did a presentation yesterday about, you know, going out with family members, and so stick within the recommendations from the HSE and the World Health Organization. However, you know, there's loads of places we can go by ourselves or within the 2 meter distance to get fresh air. You know, if you're elderly, you allow those people to use the shopping centres at the time that has been quoted. But getting outside your back garden, even listening to really good personal trainers, like the Body Coach has done loads of really good stuff on Instagram. If anyone's on Instagram, and really good exercises. There's loads of free training now from people in the physical industry to show us what to do, like getting up. And remember, when you're leaving for work from your home to your office, it might have taken you an hour and a half. You've that extra hour and a half savings of time on your way and on your way home to utilize now for exercise or whatever you want to do. So use it wisely, but definitely getting outside in the back garden. If it's safe to do so, going for a walk when it's quiet, and stick within the 2 meter radius for obvious reasons. When you get up in the morning, your body is amazing. It understands your circadian rhythm very well. So when you leave your home, a signal is sent from daylight to the retina in your eye, and it stimulates the whole body to say, hey, it's time to wake up. Okay, so by not leaving the house in the morning, your body mightn't have that opportunity, and it may cause you to be lethargic. So really important, have your breakfast outside in the morning, do your exercise outside in the back garden, but get the daylight into your retina to start the whole circadian rhythm working for its 24-hour body clock.
Okay, I never thought of that. I'm a big morning exercise fan, so yeah, no, that's good. Then for, you know, anything else that people should be looking at for themselves? I've found myself kind of getting into I used to get up earlier in the morning, and now I've kind of lapsed that a little bit more. And, you know,
yeah,
routine is really important, but, you know, we're all out of routine. Is there any kind of suggestions as to, apart from just start again, to kind of kickstart yourself into getting back into a routine? Because we could be doing this for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think definitely having a timetable is crucial to have it, and using the extra hours in your day as an opportunity. Like when we look at, you know, if there's any budding entrepreneurs out there listening to this, you know, remember some of these global companies were set up in people's houses. So, you know, this could be an opportunity. You have an idea in the back of your mind, and now you've been given an extra couple of hours a day to work on it. So work on it. And then we'll all be talking about you in years to come, saying that's the person who made millions from COVID-19. So, you know, use the opportunity wisely. If it's a case of that you want to lose a bit of weight or gain weight, well, use that time to research or talk to personal trainers, talk to nutritionists. Or if it's a case that you want to learn a bit more about meditation. So use it wisely to, you know, benefit yourself. You know, if you're looking for promotion and work, maybe there's some exams you can be doing online. Speak to your boss about that. I totally agree, Gavin. I think, you know, we wake up at 6 a.m. or 6:30 and we're like, oh, well, I don't have to leave the house now for, you know, I don't have to be in work till 9. I've got 4 hours. I'll go back to bed. Try still get up. Try and do something a bit productive for yourself. Create energy. Be smart about this. We might never get this opportunity again to get all this extra hours. So, you know, a lot of us have spent time going, I don't like my commute. Well, now a lot of us don't have that commute. Let's use this time wisely and benefit. And more importantly, benefit you of all people. Just think of yourself as an individual and say, what can I do to help me and my life gain the most from this excess time?
You mentioned something around mindfulness and meditation. You know, for people that mightn't be too au fait with it, or is there simple steps of rather going from 0 to 30 minutes, the kind of small iterations as we all talk about? Is there simple kind of steps that you'd advise people to kind of download anything, or to look at anything, or to kind of just to start?
Yeah, I think what it is there's actually an app. It's a free app. It's called Calm app. Sorry, there's no S, and it's free, and it has like different types of meditation. You need to find what suits you, like, you know, music, waterfalls, maybe no sound whatsoever. I always recommend when I go into companies for people who are starting out, maybe start off with 5 minutes and then work your way up to 15 minutes. it could change your life. It also helps manage stress levels. It helps us become better decision makers. It's really, really good for your immune function, actually, believe it or not. And we're trying to strengthen our immune functions at the moment. You know, find a time in your day that suits you and create this new habit. What I'd suggest to people is first thing in the morning or last thing at night tend to be the best times. Again, nearly like your working office, find a part of the house that can be your solace or your solitude, that you won't be disturbed for that 5 to 15 minutes to ground yourself. So you're not constantly looking over your shoulder to see who's coming into the room. And, you know, for people who find it difficult to sleep at night, what I would suggest is even sitting on the bed before you are going to sleep and just taking in your whole day is a really good way to relax the body. When you start meditation, one of the benefits is it actually dampens cortisol, and cortisol is the stress hormone that keeps us awake at night and keeps us stressed. So finding ways through diet and through meditation to manage that is really, really good.
Okay. And in relation to, sorry, just my video stopped in the corner. So just in relation then, because I'm just conscious, I know we lost a bit of time, but your main kind of takeaways that people should focus on over the next few days or weeks around kind of mental health, well-being, you know, staying healthy, what would you kind of recommend as the people should concentrate on?
Well, first of all, having that weekly planner is absolutely key, and sticking within that parameter in the weekly planner. Have your set times for your breaks, have your set times for, you know, meetings with the office or for friends, and having a bit of fun is crucial. Like, even if companies want to set up a virtual fun tour or something for their staff on a Wednesday or Friday afternoon, but also organizing with friends, going, right, let's go for drinks virtually on a Friday night. You know, having that fun is crucial to your serotonin and your dopamine levels as well. And treat yourself as if you actually have the virus. I know people are probably going, what? But treat yourself as in you're protecting yourself and protecting others. If you think you have COVID-19 or coronavirus, you're not going to do things that you possibly would have done if you thought you hadn't got it. And that is crucial for us, because the sooner we do that, the sooner we're going to get out the other side and get back into whatever normality we had and take all the benefits of what we learned during this time with us as well.
Okay, great. Just before we wrap up, you know, I'll be asking everybody that I speak to, how have you found a transition from in person yourself to your new normal of, you know, delivering webcasts or delivering, you know, chatting to clients online? You know, how have you found that?
Well, I suppose, first of all, you know, like a lot of people, you know, when I heard it was in China, I possibly didn't think it was coming here. So I didn't take too much heed at that time. For me personally, I've as a small business, I've had to overhaul my whole business and go from face to face to online. But what I found amazing is, as a nation, we've come together, the support from different people from various backgrounds saying, hey, if you need support online, we're going to help you. Or like I've said to people as well, if anybody wants any form of wellness advice, just give me a ring, pick up the phone or drop me an email. Like, we're all in this together. We all want to get out the other side. And, you know, really the support was the most important thing, and knowing that there's other people there and staying in touch socially through video calls, phone calls, really, really important that we're not self-isolating. And I look forward to seeing everybody out probably, you know, in a couple of months' time, wherever it is, and we'll all be in the same place celebrating.
Perfect. Sinead, thank you very much for being our first guest on the new normal videocast. Just for everybody, Sinead posts daily on LinkedIn. I'll put all your contact details underneath the video when we finish.
Thank you.
Looking mainly at health, wellness, support for organizations and individuals. I will wrap it up. We're only 3 minutes over time, but I will share all videos and everything online. But thanks a mil for this, Sinead. It's been excellent to hear your thoughts.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you. Bye.